Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. I wanted to ask you, what was your definition of success at that time? And what is the definition of your success now that you're in your 30s? Because you started this channel and this whole project, you were still pretty young. And now you've kind of figured a lot of stuff out. But I feel like when you're in your 30s, you're kind of restarting also.
Yeah.
Like you're starting from the bottom and you're kind of clawing your way up again. I feel completely clueless at this point in my life. So I want to know.
I totally get it. There's phases, right? That's why I said there's different phases of my life where success meant something different and it's always evolving. I mean, success for me back then was, I said I wanted to find a way to make a living doing what I love. I wanted to find a way to make a positive impact on the world in some way. Like I wanted not just to be successful in the traditional sense, but I wanted to feel like I was doing something meaningful, right? Because I had experiences working in corporate settings where I didn't feel like it was meaningful work. So I think that's part of it. Like I wanted it all. Like I wanted to be happy and make money and help people, and I was like,
when you're in your 20s, you're like, I can do this all.
Yeah. I was like, I got to find a way to do it all. And I think as I grew older and I realized that part of my definition of success and the drive I had to succeed was kind of a trauma response. Because if you think back, I had this deep need to prove my parents wrong. Oh, I must succeed no matter what. And that comes with a lot of stress. It comes with a lot of pressure that you put on yourself. And there came a point in my career where I was pretty successful. I have enough money. I have everything I need really. And yet I was stressful every day and I was worried about the numbers. And you know what I mean? When your mental health isn't good because social media is a roller coaster. And so I was like, why am I suffering? Because there's really no reason for me to be stressing this much when I have enough. But internally, mentally, I was always stressed. There's always that feeling. This is like a deep-rooted feeling that I think a lot of people have, I'm not doing enough. I could be doing more, right? I could be doing better. And I think that's where it's dangerous and it's not good for your mental health because now I've learned to develop this like healthier, balanced mindset where I have enough, I'm doing enough. Like I don't need to try so hard and more about like being more relaxed, not stressing out unnecessarily because you're undoing that like hamster wheel that your brain is on. Some people get addicted to success, right? They get addicted to more. I reached this milestone. Now I'm already setting the next milestone and then they keep going and they don't understand. Like some people, if you're happy doing that, great. But I think there's a level of like unnecessary stress that you're putting on yourself. And there's a level of that's not that healthy. It's really tricky because on the outside, it looks really good. It looks really productive, right? On the outside, it's like, oh, wow, this person's so successful. But on the inside, that person could be suffering with depression. Like you never know. Yeah. So anyway, that's where I am now, where like my definition of success now is I am living a joyful life and I have inner peace.
Welcome to your 30s.
Exactly. Nothing is more important than my peace, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I realized. I was like, additional stress, additional money, it's not worth it. Like I value my peace.
Mm-hmm. We were just doing an episode on this, my husband and I was like, I think it's really acknowledging the traumas that you have and how that is affecting the way that you're living your life right now. Because you're right. A lot of the things in our lives are driven by the past experiences that we've had. And a lot of that also affects our definition of success and what happiness and what an ideal life might look like. And the moment that you change that, that's when everything else follows. So, for example, if your idea of a successful and beautiful life is just money, fame, and endless resources, then good on you. But that's the kind of life that you will then have to live. But if your idea of a successful life and a beautiful life is something that is joyful, that is able to protect your peace, that is able to give back to others, then that's also the kind of lifestyle that you'll be living. And I think that's one of the conversations that we don't really get to have with ourselves, which is, you start with the end in mind, really. You start with
Yes.
the end goal in mind, and then that's where you create the path and the lifestyle that you want to have. That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring, and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes, and tag me on social media with, you know it, at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!